Formula E heads to Jakarta for the first ever time here on the street circuits. It's round 9 of the season then, taking place here in Jakarta, before we move on in a month's time over to Marrakesh in Morocco. Double headers are then the call, as 2 races in New York City on the 16th and 17th of July. 30th and 31st of July we go over to London, and the season rounds out on the 13th and 14th of August in Seoul, South Korea. In the Drivers' Championship, Stoffel Vandoorne leads on 111 points. Eduardo Mortara is second with Jean-Eric Vergne in third. Mitch Evans and Robin Frijns close behind. They lead a considerable amount to Nick de Vries, who's in sixth. Last year's champion not having a great year. Andre Lotto, Pascal Wehrlein, Lucas de Grassi and Tony Fies da Costa round at the top 10, with Jake Dennis at the halfway mark only on 28 points. Further down, Sam Bird, the same amount as Jake Dennis in 12th, followed by Nick Cassidy on at 16. Roland and Buemi have 10, Turvey on 6, 2 apiece for Gunther and Sims, and then Askew as well joining the club last time out. 1 point for Dan Ticktum, Sergio Sete Camara and Antonio Felix da Costa still pointless. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes lead the way to quite a way to Rocket Venturi in second. Diaz and Cheetah have a gap to Jaguar, who only have 1 point, to Tag Heuer Porsche, who in turn only have a few more points to Envision Racing. Andretti lead the rest of the field in the second half, Mahindra only on 12, the same as Nissan. Leo have 7, and surprisingly it's the Dragon Penske's who have 0. Let's take a look back then at what happened in qualifying. And the green light is on at the end of the pit lane, and away we go for the Jakarta ePrix qualifying session. And in this group then, it is Stoffel Vandoorne, Jean-Eric Vergne, Robin Frijns, Andre Lotterer, Lucas de Grassi, Jake Dennis, Nick Cassidy, Sebastian Buemi, Max Gunther, Oliver Askew and Sergei Sete Camara. They all get 12 minutes out there on the track to set their best times. The top 4 go through to the next part of qualifying, which is, of course, the quarter-final duels as well. Track temperature 31 degrees. Sorry, track temperature 41 degrees, air temperature 31 degrees, 65% humidity, 37% chance of rain. That's going to rise in the next 4 hours before the race start time as well. So there's a real possibility that we are going to have some rain out here. But what looked like a boring track actually looks quite good in real life. So we're going to have an interesting quali and a very interesting race. Oh, and there's a yellow flag out of the circuit. Who was that? And it's a permanent yellow as well, as Vandoorne crosses the line and goes up into the top spot then as well. Now, is that yellow going to cause a red? Dennis goes through, 109.121. Can't tell, yellow's at turn 16, and according to the driver tracker, that would put it as the number 4 of Robin Frijns, who's been having an issue out there. So maybe Frijns has had a spin. Sete Camara goes up into 5th place. Yellow flag now retrieved to go yellow. And Robin Frijns was on a personal best sector 1 and 2 and has now come back into the pit lane. So I would say that he was the driver at fault there. Let's take a replay. So coming into the braking zone for 16, locks the rear, then locks the front and turns in. Does he have a spin? No. So that's not the reason for that. Can't be the reason for the yellow flag. A double lockup. Absolutely not. Over the bump as well. But it's so hot out there as well. As I said earlier, track temperature 42 degrees, air temperature 32. It is due to rain later on, but it looks like we might have a dry race. So first drivers through then. And it's Dennis, 109.121. Vergne second, Cassidy third, Vandoorne fourth. And because Robin Frijns has not set a time within the first 6 minutes, he's now under investigation for qualifying procedure breakage. So, Robin Frijns under investigation. Right, so the checkered flag is out and everyone else out there is setting their faster lap times. Max Gunther touches the wall at the exit of turn 18, crosses the line, goes third fastest, gets himself through to the duels. Sergio Sete Camara is next up as well, fastest of all sector 2, can only manage 6th fastest. He's out of it. Askew goes 9th, can't improve. Here comes Sebastian Buemi now, out of the last corner, close to the line. Can Buemi get through to the Jules? Across the line? Yes, he can! For the first time, Sebastian Buemi's Nissan looks to actually be working. 109.098. So Buemi goes to the top of the board. Dennis and Vern now in the drop zone as well. Gunther 4th as things stand. Here comes Jake Dennis on board. Down across the line. Can Dennis go top? He does. 108.988 then for Dennis. Now Vern and Gunther. Van Dorn goes top, so Gunther's out of the part of qualifying. Vern goes 2nd, and Cassidy goes 5th. Degrassi goes 5th now as well. So that's it. Across the line, Lotterer now goes 5th. Lotterer doesn't even make it through the session. It's Van Dorn, Vern, Dennis, Buemi, the top 4 going through. Then afterwards, Lotterer, Degrassi, Cassidy, Gunther, Sete Camera, Askew, and Frines out of the session. Green light is on at the end of the pit lane then, and Group 2 for qualifying is underway. And in this session, Eduardo Mortara, Mitch Evans, Nick De Vries, Pascal Verlaine, Antonio Finch Costa, Sam Bird, Oliver Rowland, Oliver Turvey, Alex Sims, Dan Ticktum, and Antonio Giovinazzi. 110.041 then on the board for Turvey, way off the pace of what we've been seeing. De Vries does a 109.473. Verlaine, 109.004, so the time's coming down. Here comes Bird, goes 2nd. Evans now goes 2nd fastest as well as he comes across the line, but the timing screen's lighting up at the moment as well with some great runs. Evans, Verlaine, Evans, Bird, De Vries at the moment. Now Da Costa jumps to the top, 108.715. Mortara 2nd, Rowland 4th, so both Jaguars out at the moment. And Giovinazzi not classified, but he's got to set a meaningful lap time in these first 6 minutes, to which he hasn't done. 9 seconds off the pace. So after the first runs, it's Da Costa 108.715. Mortara 2nd, Verlaine 3rd, Rowland 4th, Evans 5th, Bird 6th, De Vries 7th, Turvey 8th, Ticktum 8th, Sims 9th, Turvey 10th, and Giovinazzi in 11th in the pits. With only 8 seconds left, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1, and Giovinazzi and the 33 of Ticktum have missed it. According to this driver tracker, they've missed it. They have. Ticktum and Giovinazzi have missed the checkered flag. I don't believe it. They mistimed it across the line, and that is a big shock for the Neos. They can't even get that right. Right, Sims has taken the checkered flag as well, so Sims stays into P9, unfortunately for him. Can't seem to improve. Here we go then into the last corner for everybody else. Who's going to take the line? Cross the line comes Oliver Rowland, goes 4th. Verlaine next up. He goes into 2nd position. Right, here comes Evans. Turvey only goes 7th. Here's Da Costa. Doesn't improve either. Evans goes to 4th. Rowland's out of Super Pole. Bird 6th. And De Vries only 5th. With Mortara 2nd. So it's Da Costa, Mortara, Verlaine, Evans through. De Vries, Rowland, Bird, Turvey, Ticktum, Sims, Giovinazzi out. De Vries out. Wow, that's the big shocker. So duel 1, a quarter final then between Evans and Van Dorn. Evans in the first sector at 19.9, sector 2 at 21.7, sector 3 is at 27.187. Evans' time at 108.935 across the board. What's that of Stoffel Van Dorn? Only a 109.268. Evans goes safely through by 0.333 of a second as well. And Evans made that mistake in turn 1, gained it back 2 and 3, but it just wasn't good enough. Evans wins the first duel as the second duel is about to start. Quarterfinal Duel 2 then. Verline 20.076, 21.585, 27.368. Verline's time is a 109.029. Vern's time through the first sector 19.994, 21.765, 27.158. Vern goes faster, a 108.917, a tenth of a second quicker. Vern goes through to the next part of quali. Duel 3 then, Dennis, first sector 19.847, second sector 21.620, third sector 27.186, 108.653 then is the time for Dennis. Is Mortara faster? First sector 19.772, 21.617, 27.030. Mortara goes top by 0.234. It's 108.419. For Eduardo Mortara, he goes through to the next part of the duels. Bohemi's time then, 20.021, 21.615, 27.552 in the sectors to 109.188 on the board for Sebastian Bohemi, but Bohemi went wide, and that's putting Da Costa at a very good advantage. According to the computer, 7 tenths up. He finishes 8 tenths up. Da Costa, a 108.336. Fastest all 3 sectors. Da Costa through to the semi-finals. Semi-final 1 then, Evans versus Vern. Evans' time, 108.658, 19.9 first sector, 21.5 second sector, 27.1 in the next sector. Vern though, 19.6, 21.4, 26.9. He's exactly 3 tenths faster. Vern on top then, a 108.358. He tops the first semi-final and goes through to the final. Vern will start on the front row of the grid. Mortara's had a slide coming out of the first corner as well. It might not be good enough. It's a 108.693. But look at this from Da Costa. He is so much faster as well by around about 4 tenths. Da Costa approaching the line now. And Da Costa goes top. 108.281. It's a Diaz to Cheetah. 1-2 in the final, and it will be Vern versus Da Costa. A 108.281 for Antonio Felix Da Costa, 4 tenths faster. Brilliant. On to the final then. Into turn 1, Vern runs it a little bit loose, nearly puts it in the wall as well. Da Costa's just started his run as well. First sector time coming up for Vern. Here's Da Costa. Vern's first sector, a 19.913. Da Costa through turn 1, clips the curb, runs a little wide, the same as Vern. 17,000's big oversteer moment there for Da Costa as he comes into turns 2 and 3. Round 4 looking good. Vern's second sector time, it's a 21.507, so it is good, but is it good enough? That's the question. Da Costa's first sector time at 20.102, it's down. Second sector coming up for Da Costa now, and he's down. 21.662, the gap 3 tenths of a second as things stand. Vern will be coming across the line shortly. I think we're riding with him now into the last couple of corners. Out of it now, turn 18, down to the wall. Is Vern going to go for pole position? It's a 108.523. What about Da Costa? Da Costa, who's up flashing magenta, slides again in the rear. It's not looking good. He might be down, and he's lost time on the last corner with a big oversteer. This has been a mucky lap from Da Costa. Across the line, 109.340. It is Jean-Eric Vern who becomes the all-time pole sitter, record holder in ABB Formula E, and has pole position for the first ever Jakarta ePrix. Hello everybody, welcome to live coverage of the ABB FA Formula E Championship, round number 9 of Season 8 as well. For the first time, Formula E heads to Jakarta in Indonesia as well. And the circuit may not look great on paper, but from what we've been seeing out on the track, it's fast, it's abrasive, and it looks quite cool as well. Edward Hunter is alongside me in the commentary box, and we're a few moments away from introducing the start of the show. Ed, are you looking forward to this one? It seems to be another hot race similar to Sanya. The fatigue of the drivers is really going to be the big talking point today.
Where I am, it's been raining all morning, so it's nice to see somewhere where it's a bit hotter. But yeah, certainly the humidity is going to be quite the challenge in Indonesia today. And it looks like a really interesting circuit with a couple of really fast, high-speed sections. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Gen 2 cars handle it. I think the Gen 3 cars are going to be even more spectacular here when we come back next year.
It's round number 9 of the ABB FIA Formula E Championship, and it gets underway here in Jakarta. We return to the second half of the season now. We've got to start talking the championship. Already so many different winners in this season as well. We've had a repeat winner in the form of Mitch Evans doing the double. Can anybody sweep the first Jakarta race of Formula E as well? Here's the grid then, from back to front. A penalty for Antonio Giovinazzi and Robin Freins, both of them not completing lap times during qualifying season at the back. Alex Sims and Oliver Askew on the next row. 18th for Dan Tinctum, 17th for Sergio Sette-Camera. Oliver Turvey 16th, Maximilian Gunther is 15th, Sam Bird 14th, Nick Cassidy starting 13th, Oliver Rowland 12th, Pascal Wehrlein gets a penalty for 11th place as well. He removed a seal on his battery as well in order to repair some damage from the previous event that they only found here this morning. Back from the grid then, on row 5, it's Lucas de Grassi starting in 10th place for Rocket Venturi Racing. The cameraman having a little bit of a wobble with it. Nick de Vries starts 9th, one of his worst qualifyings here of the season as well. Didn't even get through to the duels. Further down into the duel section as well, Andre Lotter at 8th fastest as well. For the Tag Heuers, can he actually have a better race? He's looking strong in terms of practice performance and race pace. He was up there. Stoffel Van Dorn starts 7th on the grid for Mercedes as well, the championship leader on 111 points. Sebastian Buemi having one of the best weekends we've seen in the Nissan era of the E-Dance team. He's alongside Jake Dennis, who starts 5th on the grid for Avalanche Andretti. Andretti still yet to score more than points on the board. Down on the board, Eduardo Mortara 4th for Rocket Venturi as well in the second row. He's alongside Mitch Evans as well, who swept the double in Rome. And then the front row, it's all golden. It's a De Cheetah front row. Antonio Felix da Costa, second fastest. He's dual lap in the final. A load of rear overspeed as well, sliding everything. Meant that Jean-Eric Verne took pole position. He now has the most pole positions in Formula E history, Jean-Eric Verne. A 108.523 put him on pole compared to Da Costa's 109.340. Da Costa's lap there was the slowest of all of the duels so far. We're going to have the team radio open as well throughout the race. Edward Hunter alongside me. Ed, we're getting ready. Tension starts to build, and this is it. Crunch point in the championship. So much on the line. Is this where Verne kicks off to try and get a third title?
Yeah, certainly will be disappointed not to get a win so far this season. Also noticed in the background, I think that's a big pride flag. There was also one on the rear diffuser of the Venturi, so we should see that from the back of Mortara if he makes a good start. If we should see it from the onboard drivers around him.
Hopefully
but anyway, so. Everyone's moving off the dummy grid now, so that means go time, Josh.
Does indeed. Mitch Evans pulls forward. Give you a quick mode on attack mode. Is at the outside at turn 16. You can use it twice for 240 seconds each. That's 4 minutes. So the drivers get 2 attack modes, 4 minutes each, 8 minutes total throughout the remainder of the race. Medical car at the background. The 2 DS De Cheetahs line up on the front row. Verne is on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side will be Antonio Felix da Costa. 45 minutes plus 1 lap. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights are on. Lights out, race on in Jakarta. Great start from Mitch Evans as well. Mortara's going to have to come across though to defend from Jake Dennis. But Evans is already battling with Da Costa. Da Costa forced out wide. Mortara thought about a look on the inside of Evans. Into turn 1, the longest run down towards turn 1 in Formula E. Now into the tight twisting turn 2 and 3, a double apex corner, and sweeping around the outside. Verne and Van Dorn looking a bit up there as well. And also, look at that, Verne nearly hit the wall. Go on.
Great start by Wehrlein because he's gotten around De Vries and he was fighting with Buemi there. So he started from 11th.
Oh, De Vries and Lotte are making contact at the same time. That Verline locked up. Cassidy's going sideways, and it looks like Roland's dropping back positions as well. Great start, though, from Evans. As up into 9th place goes Lotte, but we know why. Locking up everywhere, and the DS to Cheetahs now playing the team game of holding everybody else up. Look at Mortara, Ed. He's right up alongside Evans, right at the bumper.
Yeah, certainly everyone expected the Mercedes Powers cars to be strong. So Van Dorn said he'd be making up places, and he's already got up to 6th, and Mortara all over the back of Evans, as you say.
And
oh, look how dicey it is at the back. Josh.
I think that was Sete Camera trying to pass Sims. Giovinazzi and Frines are still right at the back, and Frines has passed Sete Camera.
What a start by Turvey as well to jump Gunther.
Yeah, and Roland's dropped down. Roland's down. That's why Roland's touched the wall. Exit of the last corner. So Roland has touched the wall, and he's dropped all the way down into 22nd position. Bad start for Roland in the Mahindra, and Deal won't just be punching the desk or his chest as well. He'll be punching the headsets, he'll be punching the TVs, he'll be punching everything for that one as well. And that has brought out a yellow flag as well down the track. We've gone back to green, though, as up the inside, Buemi trying to make a move on Van Dorn down into turn 4, he's got him.
That's brave.
Yeah, very brave. Yellow's still out.
Yeah, nicely done. It's great, like you say, that Buemi being a bit more aggressive this weekend, and definitely seems the Nissan is set up a bit better. And
a safety car. Sorry, Ed. We've got a safety car.
Roland out.
Well, we've got Roland stuck, but Giovinazzi is also going backwards according to the driver tracker. And it's got a wheel. Oh, so it's Roland's
looks like
wheel.
a Mahindra wheel potentially, rather than a Dragon wheel.
Yeah.
I think the way I can tell is that the Mahindra wheel's got the Indian flag on it. The Dragon one has got, it could be the inside of the wheel, so it's a bit hard to tell. But the Dragon one has got a red outline on it. So there you see there's Sims's car. You can see the Indian flag spinning rapidly on the tyre. Real rim.
Try to get hold of Roland's radio, but it's disappeared off the, here we go. There's Roland's radio.
That's not a good sign either.
Yeah, it disappeared off the computer monitor, but we've got it now. So Roland's radio's open. If we hear it on our radios, you'll hear it as well. But safety car's out, so you're right. And Roland's out.
Well, there you go. Yeah. That would indicate he's out of the race then, him climbing out the car.
Yeah, and that's why we can't hear him on the radios, because he's now climbed out. So a wheelless Mahindra.
So follow the marshal instructions and remember to go to P0 before you jump out and leave the steering wheel fitted.
And that was the last message that Roland heard over the radio. It's just come through. Instructions to the marshals, Ed. Have you frozen, Ed? I think Ed's frozen. I think we've frozen as well. Well, if you can still hear us, it'd be appreciated if you could let us know, because right now we've got nothing on our control monitors as well. So Ed's disappeared. Let's take a listen, Dario.
From Pascal Verline. Watch again the white Porsche on the right-hand side, far back. It looks like he's cooked, but he keeps it together.
I mean, phenomenal racecraft, and also just
great start then from everyone out there on the circuit as well. Safety car is in. We are racing again as Jean-Eric Verne heads down towards turn number 1, trying to have the advantage as well. As we are back racing now, as it's a great start from Verne. DaCosta Evans up there, 2nd and 3rd on the board as well. Desperately trying to hold the advantage. Sorry that we've lost coverage just a little bit, but we're back with us now. We're trying to get Edward Hunter back in operation as well up here on the control deck. But Verne leads, DaCosta 2nd, Evans is 3rd, Mortara 4th. Dennis goes into 5th position as well as things stand out there on the deck, and it's looking incredible again as Verne, DaCosta, and a big slide there there from the back as well as they try and come through. I've lost TV pictures now, so this is going incredibly well. Interesting time to be frozen. No damage to the rest of the car. Looks like the tyre fell off. It did. And now look at the back as well as Dennis goes defensive against Buemi. Trying to go through on the inside line there. Vern leads. Evans, DaCosta, Mortara, Dennis, Buemi all coming through as a perfect time actually to have a freeze in the broadcast when it came from an issue with the safety car being out there. There's a big slide as again. That is from Buemi getting a big tank slapper coming out of turn 17, trying to come back through. Clean start for everyone so far as they head down the back straight away. It's Vern leading. Evans is second. He got the jump on DaCosta. Mortara fourth. Dennis, Buemi, Van Dorn, Verline, De Vries and Degrassi. The top 10 side by side from the back as well. Degrassi trying to hold off Andre Lotterer. Degrassi goes to 10th. Did Lotterer try and get through? TV pictures keep breaking up to try and have a conversation with it all. But brilliant start from everyone. DaCosta.
Radio.
Keep balance, try to get back the position as soon as possible if you can.
So there we go. DaCosta being told as well, just keep an eye on the brake position as well. Keep an eye on everything. Don't make any mistakes. It will all work out in the end. Brilliant then. As it's DaCosta 3, Mortar 4, Dennis 5, Buemi 6 at the moment as they all ride through into the hairpin zone. Then down at turn 13, switches back into the 14 and 15, and Edward Hunter's back with me in the commentary box. Hello, Ed.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I should have just joined myself because you were doing the commentary. But anyway, it's good to be back. Yeah, good move by Evans there. We're a bit aggressive. But DaCosta really just left the door open and through he went. So there we go. Now we got a race on our hands between Jaguar and Techeetah. Almost thought about putting the Jaguar shirt on, but I thought with the Techeetah front row it might be more fitting. So
well, I don't know what happened there to lose the connection. I don't think it was your fault. I think it was
it
ours,
just froze, and
yeah.
I wasn't sure if because at first it was we spent a long time on Roland's stationary car. There's Cassidy making a move at the back.
Cassidy slips up the inside. Nicely done, yeah.
Yeah, not much Giovinazzi could really do there.
Yeah, just a complete freeze on both sides. But interesting enough, we kept broadcasting, so it must have been a problem with the laptop. Anyway, let's have a look at Giovinazzi. Now, is this contact with Roland up the inside? Because Degrassi had a spin as well. Oh, he's touched his teammate.
It's his teammate.
So that's why,
Camera. Yeah, and oh dear, he's had a spin as well.
Yeah, that was before the safety car, because there goes Roland's wheel flying off.
Oh dear.
And yeah, I thought we saw Giovinazzi dropping back through the field as well. So that explains all that happening down at the back as they come through. Vern, Evans, DaCosta, Mortara, 1, 2, 3, 4 as things stand into the breakers. And look at Van Dorn. He's going to have to go defensive. Verline seems to have found something, and Frines has taken attack mode.
Yeah, this is really not ideal for Van Dorn because he's falling into the clutches of Verline and his teammate rather than attacking Buemi now. Because he was ahead of Buemi on that first time. Buemi counter-attacked. And it's looking like it's going to be a very long afternoon now. Turby's done really want to hold on to 13th, actually. I would expect Sam Bird to get past him much sooner. But Cassidy also on a real charge on his attack mode.
Yeah, so who else does take attack mode? I couldn't see that one. Giovinazzi,
how many activations do they get? And for how long? It looks like 4 minutes?
Yeah, 4 minutes, and they get 2 activation zones. So 2 times 4, basically. So 8 minutes in total. So that's counting down. It's pretty much standard now. I think they've made it across the entire season that they're going to have at single races 2 attack modes for 4 minutes, and then at dual races, the second race of the weekend, you'll have 1 activation for 8 minutes long. That seems to be the running trend of what's been happening, because they've tested it back in Rome, didn't they? And then they did it again in Berlin.
Yeah, they sort of they tend to do the more experiments on the second day. Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems to be working. So I'll take that one as well. May as well experiment with the format on day 2. Although I didn't like Berlin's day 2 because we did every single practice session just because it was in reverse. As well, so it technically shouldn't really have been that way, but hey ho, it's the way the cookie
I suppose they
crumbles.
could have got away with just doing a shakedown, but you know, it helps. There's no harm in doing it, in my opinion. But there we go. Look at that Verline all over the back of Van Dorn now,
and he's got to freeze. And there goes Cassidy on attack mode, passing.
Yeah, not much Turvey could really do there without his own attack mode.
I was really disappointed, by the way, with Neo 333 last time as well in qualifying. They sent Dan Tictum out and they missed the checkered flag. And admittedly, so did Giovinazzi in the Group 2, I believe it was. Yeah, they both missed it. So Tictum ended up 9th.
Bird having a go at Turvey now as well.
Yeah, and Turvey going to start falling down the order. Now, they've all got around about 80% of battery left after 11 minutes of running. There is a time extension, and he's through. Yeah, I wish the TV angle would show it, but it didn't.
They just flashed through now.
Oh, good. There they are. 1 minute 30 time extension as well added to the board as Vern takes attack mode. Evans takes the lead in the Jakarta ePrix.
Yeah, crucially gets out in front of Mortara as well. So Vern has only got one car in front of him to deal with. So it's basically forcing Evans into a position now where if he responds, he'll come out behind. So it's either going to be overtaken through going attack mode or overtaken on track, basically.
Everyone's taking attack mode now. You can see the flashing blue on your timing screens as well, the driver numbers.
DaCosta's done the same, as has Dennis.
And De Vries, Degrassi done it as well. Turvey's done it. Tictum's done it as well. Everyone else was already on attack mode. Frines is actually losing his attack mode now. So Frines is going to be in trouble with everyone behind him on quicker speeds as they come down. Bird's going for the move on DaCosta. Gunther, sorry. Did he get the move done? Within the shot? Yes, he did.
Looks like Sam Bird has waited a while to sort of make his charge. And his pace in the races has always been good, but his qualifying is really what's letting down this season.
Yeah, it's been really bad qualifying as well. He has yet to win a race this year.
He's even admitted himself in the interview with PK yesterday, he just hasn't gotten to the duels often enough. He's just always missed out on the cut in the group stage.
It's very funny as well. Let's hear from Evans.
In the race when they get hotter.
Attack with magic paddle, hard on activation, attack, magic paddle.
There we go.
Yeah.
He's gone into it.
And Vern retakes the lead as Mortara
He's
takes
come out
second.
just behind Mortara as well.
And crucially ahead of DaCosta. That was important. So Mortara's yet to take attack mode. So Evans is right there then. He'll get an extra minute.
Mortara's going to hold him up a little bit, especially with Vern pulling away now.
Yeah, Evans tries to look to the inside line. And DaCosta's trying around the outside of Evans as well, because Evans is still getting used to getting back up to speed.
He's getting back up, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but now it'll be a bit harder for DaCosta because he only had that one chance really down the main straight. So Evans is going to have to make sure he's inch perfect here because if he slips up, Dennis will get through as well. Cassidy
has lost his attack mode, as has, I believe, Giovinazzi. Evans really goes defensive.
Yeah, Turvey's gone into it as well as Sims at the back.
Turn 12 looks remarkably similar as well to turn 16 as well. It's very hard. There's parts of this track that do look alike.
A little bit, yeah. It's a sort of 45-degree kind of corner. It looks very similar to 17. 12 and 17 look very similar to me.
Yeah, and 2 and 3 look remarkably similar to Santiago's old turn 2 and 3 when it used to sweep back around the bowl section.
A little bit, yeah.
That might still actually be the layout. We haven't been to Santiago in a long time.
Yeah, I feel like DaCosta making that mistake has really enabled Jaguar to get back into this race with Evans.
Yeah,
I feel like they really wanted him to stay in second and control the pace. And even with this attack mode, that was a sort of attempt to undercut Evans, and it didn't work out. Mortara next lap then. Okay.
Right. Okay. So Mortara is going to have it. So Evans has got 2:25 left. Vern 1:12. So there's about another minute 11 on Evans' side if he can clear Mortara quickly and get back up to speed. Vern
Mortara's the big threat in the championship for Vern in the drivers. So as Evans not too far behind either. But with Van Dorn down in 6th, he's only just gotten ahead of Buemi. Buemi's not had a great attack mode because he's fallen behind both Porsches, both Mercedes, and the Venturi Degrassi. So it's really been not great. Because he's gone into attack mode last and he's been undercut by the others. I can only think that's what's happened here because he's got more than those around him.
And once again, a good qualifying from the Nissans is outskewed by bad strategy planning because it's put him outside of the top 10, as you say.
Another move by Bird.
Yeah, Bird's on the move.
On Cassidy.
Brilliant for Bird.
Charge, yeah.
And that's even without attack mode. So that was a pure overtake on Cassidy. Let's hear from Mitch Evans. DaCosta going to go on attack. Evans being warned about it with another 13 seconds left, though, as they come down the start-finish straight. Mortara's having to go defensive. Evans thought about the move on the inside.
They must spend the lap after the next lap when they said to Mortara.
Well, it makes sense, because then Evans will have another, minute? Maybe 45 seconds less than what Mortara would have had. So Mortara can actually get in the lead here and take the defense. Vern's run out of attack mode. Evans only got 60 seconds left, as has Verline Lotterer. But when he's got 2:14, Gunther's just taken another attack mode as well. So I think he's at his second of the race already. Can't tell. We need a little strike on the timing screens to show us how many attack modes they've used, because it's quite difficult to tell on the board. But this is looking strong for everybody out there.
I think it's Gunther's first, because I don't think I remember him going into it in the first round.
So yeah, he has dropped down 17th.
Strategy.
Yeah. So
But yeah, interesting. Trying to think. I'm just thinking about Dennis at the back here, who's sort of, we've seen this a couple of times where I remember Rome, where he sort of made this late charge and then ran out of energy and had to sort of back off again.
Control.
That's Vern's radio. Oh, and De Vries has dropped down the order. He's been passed by De Gracia and Verline as here comes Evans.
Yeah, I think both of them shoveled him out of the way.
And Evans is out of attack mode.
Oh, look, there they are.
Yeah, there
side
they
by
are.
side in the first corner. That's
crucially as well, De Vries now been passed by Lotterer. So with the two on attack mode,
that
got
was what
through.
we just saw. Yeah, so Lotterer just uses attack mode to finish the move.
18931.
Bird
70.8.
Bird hasn't taken any of his attack modes. And he's moving up the field. Bird started 14th. He dropped back at the start, but now he's up into P12 as well. So he's fighting back. And he hasn't used any of it.
Bohemi's about to run out in front of him, so hopefully it's not too big a gap. But definitely feels like 12th down to the back,
really
having their
good.
own kind of
Mortara
race.
is
Oh, it's irrelevant now because Bohemi's just passed De Vries. So Bohemi's passed De Vries as well. And the gap is about 2.1 seconds, maybe 2.5, as it keeps fluctuating on the timing screen there between them. But no one taking another attack. Yes, taking another attack mode.
Oh!
Van Dorn, who nearly put it in the
Thrifty
wall.
by Van Dorn. He nearly pinned it there, yeah.
It's so dirty offline here as well. We're right near the beach.
It's a bit like Miami, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, we're right near the beach here as well. So the sand gets blown on as well, and all the dust here at Jakarta as well. It all gets blown onto the circuit. And they've only raced on it today. It's not a double header. This is a one race only event. So the track is still incredibly dirty, even compared to this morning when first practice got underway. And they were stepping and sliding.
When Mortara's going to go for that attack mode.
1 Hotel 9, Papa
Van Dorn
Lima.
doing it behind.
Yeah, but that's Vern's radio, so he's asking where they are behind him as well. We're 13 laps down, 27 minutes plus 1 lap to go, and Van Dorn, I think that would be attack mode 2 on the back, because I think he was one of the first to go for it. So we need that graphic back up, please, from a few moments ago to come through. Bird has taken his first attack mode now as well, so he's going to go through a charge in the rest of the field. Of course, what they need is, after the attack modes are done, another safety car to bunch the field back up. But remarkably, they're all still quite compared, and there goes Da Costa.
Oh, Da Costa going for another one.
So that's his final attack mode done then for Da Costa. Attack mode 2.
And he's come out crucially ahead of Van Dorn.
Yeah, so Van Dorn really has lost out big time.
Yeah, it's that battling with Bohemi and the Porsches earlier. He's really just put him away from the lead pack.
Didn't even hear that message.
And that's Mortara. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, not you. He didn't come through. Couldn't hear it at all over the radio. Literally nothing. So,
and you can see how close the whole city of Jakarta is to being sunk underwater.
Yes.
It's a city where, like, there's a ridiculous amount of it that's been taken
Victor,
by
November Charlie.
the rising sea level.
Copy. Minimum speed looking
And
good. Antonio in his second attack now.
Should also be pointed out that the weather we predicted as well for this weekend was not nice during this race time now. It should have been absolutely bucketing it down with rain as well. And not just normal rain, but muddy rain as well would have developed. It would have dropped all the sort of dust
Juliette,
and pollen
attack,
from it all as well. And we saw in the MotoGP race in Indonesia as well when it rained. It didn't just rain normal water. It brought down mud and everything.
There
as
we
well,
go.
everything.
Mortara finally going for it.
Oh.
And I thought he would because he's got to respond to Da Costa. And he's just getting out behind Dennis.
Yeah,
But that's
Dennis.
not too bad.
And look at that behind now as well. Dennis is going to be happy that he's actually blocked off Da Costa because Dennis was under immense pressure there down the back. So Da Costa, the overcut
Well, he's not going to be
has
happy in a
worked.
minute because through comes Mortara.
That's a shame. Mortara goes through on Dennis. So he's now back under pressure from Da Costa. Da Costa clips the wall at
I
turn
think
1
Dennis
as well.
has only used one attack mode, so he's got another one to use later on.
Yeah, so he'll have the last laugh. But look at this. Da Costa's almost pushing him round. And here comes Van Dorn. He too's got attack mode. And
Yeah,
Sims
well, Van Dorn's
yeah,
only got a minute left, though, so it's not going to make too much
Oh.
difference. Here comes Da Costa.
diving through on the inside line, down at turn 7 and 8, and gets the move done as well as they switch back 9 and 10 through the sweep back section as well. And it was that a wheel off in the background? What was that flying up in the air? Big bit of debris.
So Mortara now being told
Might
you've
have been
got to
from
close
the incident earlier. Didn't seem too serious. Here comes Van Dorn up the inside of Jake Dennis.
And that was crucial for Van Dorn as well, with only 36 seconds left of attack mode. He makes the move down at the turn 13. Hairpin, and that's Vern taking attack mode once again. His second one, getting slidey off the line as well. Mortara, crucially, is still behind him, so that worked out brilliantly for Vern.
Mandatory. Attack this lap.
Attack this lap mandatory, he was told over the radio. Evans now being caught
That means
out.
you have to do it or you'll lose the lead to Mortara, basically.
You will only lose to Evans.
Yeah, there you go. You will only lose to Evans, but not for long. They're right up alongside each other, down towards turn 1 once again as well. Nice moves going on. And look at that. Do you think Jackie was a little bit worried? I've never seen James Bartley looking so worried on his face.
Oh, I think I've seen it a couple of times. Venturi looked pretty worried as well.
19 Mike, Hotel Romeo.
Mercedes looked the most sort of concerned because I think Van Dorn looks pretty unlikely to win this one.
And that'll hurt his championship as well. Only leads by 12 points to Eduardo Mortara. Mortara running in third, Van Dorn fifth. It'll still decrease the championship battle by 6 points, according to my quick mental math calculations. As Vern again, late on the brakes into the hairpin, down at turn 13, tries to get the move done on Evans as well. But Evans staying firm and defending
Evans has
his
got to
line.
rely on going into attack mode later on. He's going to wait for Vern to run out and then try and get back past him, I think. As all
Verline.
through goes, that looks like Verline and Lotterer.
Yeah,
so Porsche
both
doing
Porsches.
the same strategy then. And De Vries jumped Lotterer.
Yeah, so De Vries got through there as well. That was a good opportunistic move from the Season 7 champion
Well, he
as
just
well.
sort of happened to be there as, here comes Vern up the inside. It's turn 1.
And makes the move. Evans going to try and get the cut back. Vern gets a slide, but with the extra power.
He's not got the power.
Yeah.
No, I don't know why Evans is trying to put himself. I think he's just worried about Mortara behind because Mortara's still got another minute left.
Yeah, and they're all on the same amount of energy as well, which was remarkable.
1 India X-ray, 1 Oscar.
Usually the attack mode takes it through. Here's the fan boosts, and crucially for Mortara, he doesn't have one, but everyone around him does as well, so that's even worse.
Yeah, Vern, Evans, DaCosta, Van Dorn, and De Vries down in 10th has also got one.
As they come through, so yeah, Van Dorn as well, down in towards the braking zone. When are we going to see Evans go for attack mode? Is he going to wait for both of them to run out, then go? Or he runs the risk of a safety car then?
Well, he's definitely going to wait for Mortara to run out in the next 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, doesn't do it this lap either. So next lap, it's a 1 minute 10 lap.
Oh, there goes Lotterer and Degrassi.
Yeah, so Degrassi.
Not Lotterer. It must be De Vries and Degrassi, I think.
Yeah, Verla, yeah, De Vries and Degrassi. Yeah, and Bird's taking his second now, as is Sims. So Bird now has been stuck behind everybody in this lap.
I swear, no, it must have been Lotterer who went for it because he came out behind Degrassi.
But
It was a
Lotter
bit
already
confusing.
Lotter had it the lap before, so why did he
I
go
think
through
De Vries
again?
went for it and then missed it, maybe. I didn't see
Right.
quite who that was.
Soak at the
Because
line.
I think De Vries was just ahead of
One,
Degrassi.
zero,
and
Mike,
Lotterer
go X-ray.
before that.
57-1.
It's all sneezes this morning in the commentary box as well, as they come through. Right, Degrassi has taken it. Verline's got another 2 minutes. So's Lotterer. Bird's got 3. Turby's got less than 1 minute left.
Yeah, I think Turvey sort of chewed through his second one quite early, and he's not really been able to get back in front of Cassidy doing it. But he's still ahead of Sims Gunther, which is a pretty good day's work given the car he's got underneath him.
Yeah,
But yeah, Vern has got a pretty decent lead now over Mitch Evans, so it's really hard to see Evans
Van Dorn's
overcoming
going-
that.
yeah.
There we go. Van Dorn going into attack mode and coming out just ahead of Degrassi.
And that's crucial as well, because he's only lost a position to Verline, and he's going to have much more attack mode left, and crucially, it was important for him to get out. So look at that.
Yeah, Van Dorn looks good for 6th for the moment.
Should have
As,
been more.
Vern is about to run out, so... But the problem for Evans is he's got Mortara and DaCosta still right behind him, so Mitch Evans is kind of in a position that he doesn't want to be, where he's got too much work to do.
Did Van Dorn get it? Yes, he did.
He did.
Ah!
1-3, Mike, Delta X-ray.
So, you're
Opening
right.
a job, you're
That's-
opening the gap. Attack
Look at
this
the little
lap,
car
now
park
it's free.
thing, the
Yeah.
multi-story car park next to the circuit with the big spirally thing. It's like those toys you used to get when you were a kid. With the
Coincidentally,
plastic
yeah.
kind of.
I was talking with my friend yesterday as well, who actually has been to Jakarta for a karate competition, and this track is actually built around where the stadium is as well. So that little car park
He is,
section.
yeah, Nankol.
Yeah,
I
so
think.
that's where he competed. So I've actually got some more track info from what it's like around there in terms of temperature, humidity, as well, the size of it all, the feeling, and how it really is close to sea level, as we saw earlier on. As taking attack
Finally,
mode
Jake Dennis goes for attack mode and drops behind Verline and Van Dorn.
Yeah.
Just ahead of Degrassi, crucially.
So Van Dorn goes through, Verline goes through, Dennis drops down to 7th position as well. I think there's more going for attack mode as well. Yeah, Askew.
Under control. Now it's
Yeah,
the
so
target
actually
speed.
Van Dorn has kind of jumped Jake Dennis here, and he looks good to get Verline as well.
And Askew, who started this race in 19th place as well, was one of the back runners in qualifying, is up into 14th place. That's a good result.
Given the car he's got,
Yeah.
You would hope he would have made progress.
One
So
Charlie
that's
headlight,
good
bravo.
to see.
I think he's been
It's almost a
helped
shame
out,
that we
yeah.
don't have more high angles at this track, because I love seeing the diffuser of the Venturi. It looks really nice.
I know.
and you only really see it in the sort of higher angles very, very briefly, like especially when they go around the hairpin. But there you go, got great view
Just
there.
just at the bottom, yeah. It's got some good lighting, this track, as well, to say expose it
Still
all.
looking good, minimum speed everywhere.
Here we go. So looking like Vern has got this just about under control at the moment. And another great view of the diffuser, which the costume I'm sure is getting sick of seeing. But
No, I never think we can ever could get sick of it. Seeing
looks
as
like
well.
they've yeah, because Dennis has dropped back behind Van Dorn. There's a completely huge gap now behind Da Costa to Verline of about let's have a look, about 5 or 6 seconds, isn't it?
I've got the gap to the leader. I need intervals on my timing screens. Give me a second, I'll tell you. Gap,
2 seconds, isn't it?
2.6.
2.6.
Oh, 2.8, because Verline's been passed by Van Dorn up the inside, and Van Dorn now takes the position, which puts the
Yeah,
gap.
and Dennis is probably going to be
2.8.
through as well.
Yeah.
Degrassi's going to run out before he gets close to the back of him, so he's going to have to do it without attack mode.
1 kilo
Dennis should
uniform
be able
for
to
Tango.
cross back to Verline.
Copy. Both cars behind still have to take attack.
And that is Evans and Mortara to take attack mode as well. Their second one.
So
Vern
I wonder
already
if
has.
Evans and Mortara will sort of both go right near the end of the race for that final attack mode.
They run the risk, though, don't they, of getting a cut-off, because the safety car could play a factor, but same with fan boost as well. Attack mode can't be used in the last 4 minutes of the race, is it? You can't you've got to activate it with more time to go in the race, haven't you, than there is left. But with that added time, remember, there's another 1 minute 30
There'll be a little
left.
bit because of that first safety car period, won't there?
Yeah, 1 minute 30 added time according to the timing screens as well. So there's another 1 minute 30. And that added time graphic will come up as well, probably.
That's not a huge
now to
amount,
go.
but it will make a crucial difference at the end.
And if there's a safety car, it could as well. So that's why they're all saving energy. But this has been a very tactical race for Formula E. It's back. Oh, and move further
No, we've
back
seen
as
some
well.
good moves,
Down towards the
though.
pit wall. Dennis going
That's
to the
Dennis.
inside, getting ahead of Verline. Verline tries to come back on the inside, can't. So Dennis gets ahead with the attack mode. Like what we saw earlier on with Vern Evans, Dennis had more power.
1 Tango, kilo Yankee 3.
Yeah, so he had more power. Good move there.
Yeah, and Vern talking about tangos. Let's see if him and Evans are going to dance a tango, or if he's going to just do a solo dance.
He needs his partner, which is Da Costa, down in 4th place. There's the beautiful look of the city as well. That's what we wanted to see. That is fantastic.
Well, I want to see the race, but
Yeah.
I guess the city's nice too.
Alpha Whiskey Bravo Tango.
Quick little look around there as well. Let's have Van Dorn.
We can arm fan boost. We can arm fan boost.
Right, so Van Dorn is
Wow.
arming fan boost, and that is to get
Is
ahead
that
of
to
Da
try?
Costa.
No,
Close
that's
the
surely
gap.
to try and catch up to the Costa,
Yeah.
because there's like the 2 second gap to him.
It's now, yeah, he's brought it down by 8/10 on that last lap alone. So it's
I think there was also a bit of
a.
a threat from Dennis behind as well, so
Yes.
that's responding to what Dennis is doing, because he's got 10 seconds left for
Rotary
attack
fan
mode.
boost when you want.
Vern now being told you can use fan boost when you want as well, as they come down side by side. Maybe the back? No, thought it was Verline.
Yeah, it looks like
maybe.
Dennis is about to run out, so Van Dorn has secured that 5th position then.
Yeah,
So
and,
that's a pretty decent recovery drive, all things considered.
and Van Dorn's got the fast lap of the race as well, a 1:09.819, so he'll get the extra
1 3
bonus
Romeo
points.
Charlie Juliette.
As they come down, Askew runs out of attack mode. Cassidy runs out of attack mode now as well, as they hurtle down towards turn 7 and 8. Then the switchback section around the car park area here of the stadium. And Giovinazzi still 20th, and both Dragons down at the back of the field. And Giovinazzi with horrible energy. Look at that, he's 7% less than everybody else.
Yeah, it certainly feels like Giovinazzi just sort of struggling with this circuit. It's new to everyone, of course, but As Mortara goes for attack mode.
And loses places to Da Costa, and is that it? Yeah, it's just Da Costa.
Yeah, because there was the gap to Van Dorn. So this is a crucial moment then. Does Evans respond, or is he going to stay? That sounds like him being told to use it then. To push a gap and try and make sure you come out just ahead. But the problem is he's got Vern in front of him now.
I think what that helicopter's trying to show us actually is the incoming clouds as well, because it's like a microclimate, a bit like what we see at Monaco, where it can just bucket it down at the drop of a hat. We had that in
MotoGP. Race.
Yeah, and we don't need to change tyres either, because these Michelin tyres are all weather. The Hannocks next year will be exactly the same.
The Hancocks, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be fun, aren't they, to have them on?
It's interesting, yeah, to have a different manufacturer. There's Bird ahead of Buemi. Remember, Buemi started 6th in this race, and Bird has jumped him. So actually, Bird, even though he's just outside the points, has had a pretty decent run of it.
Mortara,
no points for 11th, of course.
Yeah, Mortara's right on the back of Da Costa now as well, but Da Costa got fan says Evans.
Here he goes, here he goes.
Yeah, push. Dario was saying it as well. Evans takes
he's just going to come out ahead of them both. Oh, good move by Evans. So now the win's on.
And James Barkley was happy with that one as well. It's come out ahead of Da Costa. But
that was an excellent in-lap there.
Yeah.
For the attack mode. But now Da Costa's going to use fan boost right behind him.
And pulls to the inside. This is going to be about who's got the brakes down towards turn 1. But
that's defending from Mortara.
So he's not attacking Evans. He's defending from Mortara. He's also got the attack mode on the straight there. But Evans is also romping clear. Evans might just be able to catch up to Vern.
And Evans on attack behind.
He's certainly got a good 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So Vern's sounding a bit nervous on the radio.
41-0.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? He was got told that Evans is now on the attack mode, and crucially, he hasn't lost any places as we were pointing out. So this is all now battling at the front. Down now we go. Let's hear from Evans on the radio.
Da Costa is holding Mortara back. We could magic paddle.
Da Costa's and Da Costa holding Mortara back, and then magic paddle. So that's the regen as well to get as much energy back into the battery as possible. It becomes very hard when you're at full power with the attack mode. And look at Mortara visibly closing on Da Costa as well. He's got so much more power.
He's only got a minute and a half left, so Da Costa's really trying to fight to hold on to this podium.
And he's going for it. Mortara might have gone a little bit too deep there as well. Here we go. Mortara down the start-finish straight. Da Costa.
Yeah, he didn't have fan boost this time, so through goes Mortara.
Didn't even defend into turn 1.
Well, I don't think he could have. Yeah. If he defended on the inside, he would have gone there on the outside of him.
So,
line.
Mortara jumps up into 3rd position, and Diaz Chito starting 1-2 and now 1-4.
1 uniform, Echo, Kilo Tango.
6 temps between Evans and John Vern.
And Dennis has passed Verline. Dennis up to 6th place then in the
Verline, I think, briefly gotten ahead of him there. So they're a good little fight between the Porsche and the Andretti.
And let's hope we see Andretti stay, because there's a lot of rumours swiveling about those teams and the McLarens, both in Formula 1, Formula E and IndyCar.
Well, they did a deal with Porsche. That would imply, as a customer team, it's a long-term deal as well.
Yes,
they're staying.
But I'm on about the driver lineup as well, because of it's all swirling around with Formula 1 is Ricciardo staying, Rosenquist, is he staying in the McLaren team, Andretti, is Herta staying around, is he going to McLaren, all that it's swerving around them. So 3 different series as well involved in the driver market.
And of course you've got McLaren and Andretti in Formula E next season as well, with the Mercedes team transferring ownership.
2 more start
and Evans just inching closer, but he's only got a minute left. It's looking a bit difficult now, isn't it? I think Vern's got a little bit too much in hand.
What was that? Something flying off the front of Andre Lotterer's wing there. I think it was a bit of advertising boarding that just flew up in the air and whacked it, and it exploded. But it's hard plastic, those as well, because it's not the usual stuff around here where it's paper barriers as well. It is a very heavy banner. So Lotterer just destroyed one of those down the start-finish straight. And has it broken a bit of the front wing? I think it has, you know. That's Verline's car, not Lotterer's.
I'd have to have another look. I think Verline looks okay.
Yeah, where's Lotterer's one?
Have a good look at Lotterer. Oh, let's look at the replay of Jake Dennis. He might have a better view of this. Oh, no, this is... Okay, so Verline dived up the inside of him, and I think Dennis came back at him. That was up the inside at turn 1.
There's 2 and 3. Yeah,
there we go. Verline just went wide at 2 and 3.
So he got on the dirt that we've been talking about as well, just drifted out wide. It is literally like mud racing.
Verline will come to rue that.
Yes, he will. It's literally like mud racing. It's brilliant. And yeah, Verline's dropped to 9th. Degrassi and Lotto have gone through now as well, the 2 Porsches. So Verline in trouble. Verline's in trouble.
His energy,
And De Vries has passed it. So what's going on here then? Yeah, we've got a problem for Verline. He's dropping down the order.
I think it's the traditional Formula E thing where you lose one place and you lose another. So here we go. Evans has run out, so it's a straight fight then between him and Vern. Vern has done brilliantly, it must be said.
Oh, brilliantly for Jean-Eric Vern as well as he tries to get victory here.
Because I sort of thought that, that he was a goner once Evans got close. They both still got fan boost at their disposal. Only De Costa's used it so far.
No win this year for Jean-Eric Vern. He was second in round
2
5.
for Evans in Rome.
Yeah,
well,
and second in Berlin, and 2 wins for Evans, as you say. But this is where he needs to get his championship back on track. Jean-Eric Vern, he needs to take victory here
I know
in
it's
Jakarta.
been going pretty well so far, especially compared to De Costa.
Yes.
He's had a brilliant season compared to De Costa, who's been sort of a very up and down. And just look how I thought he was going really wide there, but that's of course the racing line.
Da Costa 10th in the standings on 28 points as well. He's way adrift of the 42. That is just ahead of him of Lucas de Grassi as well as they head down the start-finish straight to start lap 30 of this race. Here's the standings. Vern would jump into the lead with Van Dorn down to
only
second.
by 2 points over Van Dorn as De Vries uses his fan boost to try and attack Lotterer.
There we go. Does he make the move? Don't think he did. Let's have a look at de Grassi as he's made a move.
This is how he got past Verline.
Oh,
Dive at the inside. Oh,
he
and
nudged.
made a little bit of contact.
And that's
how Lotterer got through.
And that's why Verline dropped down so many places because De Vries was just behind that as well on the battle. So
Yeah, so a bit forceful by De Grassi, but I could argue that maybe Verline turned in on him and didn't see him there.
incident involving Dennis and Verline under investigation for causing a collision. That's on the stewards. As Verline jumps back up to 8th, Lotterer down to 9th, and Buemi and Bird.
Oh, maybe because it was a
Yeah.
rear-facing camera. Did Dennis maybe bump into the back of Pascal
Possibly, yeah.
Verline?
Bird up to 10th, Buemi up to 11th, and Nick De Vries is dropping. And Nick De Vries is out of the race. De Vries, I think, is out. He's stopped at turn 11. Look at that. You can see on the driver
Could that be
tracker.
a safety car?
Well, I think he's got going again, so maybe he's had a spin, so he has now restarted, but De Vries has dropped right to the back of the race, and that is bad news, and now he's saying he's stopped. Driver tracker is showing him down at turn 13, but now he's got going again. But De Vries has had something go on with him as well, possibly a spin. We'll keep an eye out and see if there's a replay. We're watching the battle for the lead between Vern and Evans, but he was right up there, so maybe Birds made contact with him, maybe Lotterer. They were the drivers just alongside De Vries before he made that problem down at turn 11.
Yeah, it's not been the amazing title defense for the reigning champion. Although Berlin, of course, it did go very well where he won and made that excellent start. But it's been really up and down. There's been races where when he's in the middle of the pack, De Vries has really just gotten into little scrapes he didn't really need to. He's often defended over aggressively, hasn't he?
Yeah, and De Vries is in the
I
pits.
thought he'd sort of corrected that, but there we go, in the pits for De Vries.
Probably out of the race as well, so Nick De Vries
I think so,
retiring.
yes.
Yeah. Well, as you were just saying, Ed, bad to worse, and they're getting a new tyre ready. It's a puncture on the rear right.
So he's been hit in the rear, or somebody or something,
Was it
and
by
that's punctured the tyre.
Was it Lotterer? Was it Bird? They were running together out there on the track. We'll double check and see if they can find a replay for it.
Oh, lucky escape for Verline because Lotterer's let him back through now.
And Da Costa's used his fan boost as well, according to that monitor. So
well,
De
he did a
Vries and
while
Da Costa,
ago to defend from Mortara.
Right,
for a
I'll cross
lap.
that off. Van Dorn, Vern and Evans still got it as well. And they're going to let it go late into the race as well. A tactical race.
Giovinazzi down to 14%.
Wow.
He's looking, and I'm
And
amazed
Evans
he's still ahead
goes
of...
for it at the inside. Vern locks up, and Evans takes the lead. He didn't even use fan boost. He just dove up the inside down at turn 7.
Wow, he just caught Vern napping there.
Good job, mate. Good job.
Absolutely caught me napping as well. He came on completely by surprise. Such a great run from Evans. That was so much more speed. He really did put the hammer down. Brilliant. Oh, hang on. Yeah.
And even the commentators sound a bit surprised by that, although they seem a bit behind the pictures that you and me are seeing. But yeah, I wonder if Vern is saving energy, because it looks like he's just not quite as efficient as Evans' Jaguar today, which is a shame because he has driven excellently, but it looks like Vern won't take the championship lead from Stoffel Van Dorn after all.
It looks to be a third win of the season for Mitch Evans as well. After doing the double in Rome, he wants to sweep Jakarta as well as they come down into turn 1. Vern's not going to let this one go though, and them two fighting is bringing more tyre into this. 1.5 seconds the gap. So here's the standings at the moment. Van Dorn will have 121 points. Here's Evans again, Ed.
Yeah, there we go. So it looks like it could be a four-way fight. Yeah, there you go. So Vern just didn't get the great run out of that. Looks like turn 6, was it?
Yes, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah.
Yeah. So you look through turn 6. So Vern had sort of gone a bit wide, gone for the racing line, and Evans thought, "Well, I'll just dive up the inside, brake late, and get into the corner." And yeah, he held the line. There wasn't really too much that Vern could have done at that point once he was alongside. As Giovinazzi trickles down to 10% of energy left with 6 minutes plus 1 lap remaining.
And have we had the added time onto the graphic?
Not yet.
Yeah, not
but
yet.
we will in a moment.
Yeah, it's 1 minute 30 added on, so they need
We're
to
in
add that
about when
quick.
we got 5 minutes left. We will. So
Look at that. There's those rain clouds that we were looking at earlier on in the broadcast starting to come over the track as well.
all the fans have got their own little fans.
Oh, wow, that's great. Well, it's
cool.
It's very hot out there. It's the second hottest race in Formula E history. Of course, Santiago a couple of years ago was the hottest over 37.
I think season 5. Yeah.
Yeah, and track temperature's 40 degrees. Their temperature has dropped now to 29.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Jack Pickering and Aisha, who are there
Yes.
from Formula E zone.
Very hot out
To be
there.
fair, Aisha lives there, so I think she's quite used to this kind of humidity. But
Yeah.
Jack certainly is not.
Yeah, and especially as well as he said before back in Monaco on the show here as well, when he was in the pit lane for us as well, how he is ginger and burns in the sun quite a bit as well. And he didn't have any sun
Well, also
cream
he
on.
had to miss Berlin because he was going to see Eurovision.
Yeah, that's why Pico wasn't in Berlin as well. And he's out there in Jakarta now for Formula E Zone, and we'll have some post-race
That
stuff.
little stripe
next
on the ground,
tonight.
is that where the
Bottom,
plank is
yeah.
scraping?
I was just thinking that.
Or
it
is that
looks-
just a bit of the tarmac that's resurfaced a bit awkwardly?
Could have been both.
But anyway.
Although it does look like the plank's been hitting it as well down at the bottom.
And Dawn looks very, very eager to get into the top 4 here because he's really kept Acosta very honest. And there's the added time.
Yep, 1 minute 30 added on to the clock then here, which means the race is now back up to 5 minutes. And Van Dorn uses fan boost now to try and have an attack. He's used it. It's gone green on the timing screen. Out of the last corner.
He's using it down the main straight then.
Yeah, can he have it? There we go. DaCosta's going to have to go defensive. Van Dorn's going to have an extra speed. 225 kilowatts of power. Goes to the pit lane line as well. Kicks up the dirt. Van Dorn tries out the outside but can't do it. Waste of a fan boost.
And fastest lap for Evans then. I guess Van Dorn had to try there, didn't he?
Yeah,
But he's
always.
still very, very close. And Evans second fastest lap, which will crucially give him an extra point. So that will put him on 110 points in the championship. So still, I think, 4th place overall, but
Yeah.
much closer to the 3 in front of him, which, of course, are Mortara, Vern, and Van Dorn
Bad,
in that
yeah.
reverse order.
Bad day for Vision. Look, Cassidy started 13th. He's down to 16th. Frines started 21st with that penalty, but did move up to 17th as well. As fan boost now used for DaCosta and Van Dorn as well. Evans on the radio.
Jeff might use fan boost on the main straight.
And yeah, Evans now using fan boost on the main straight as well. But look at this as well. Mortara has moved in within a second of Vern, and Vern's half a second away from Evans. The top 3 fighting their way with 3 minutes and 4 minutes to go in the race, plus 1 lap. So there's an awful long way to go as they exit the last corner, starting lap 36 of this
Ooh,
race.
Vern on
Here we
fan
go.
boost.
So Vern uses the fan boost to try and close the gap down to turn 1, but he's too far back.
Like, he's got to use it soon, because otherwise the sooner the race will be over. So
Yeah.
may as well give it a go. So he's definitely much closer. He was about 6 tenths, and now he looks, it's 2 or 1 tenth behind in the middle sector here. But also Mortara, like you say, closing in, all of them on 11%. Apart from Verline, who's actually doing pretty well on his energy.
And Giovinazzi's on 3, so he's really... Oh, and Vern locks up into turn 7 as well. That's going to cost him time, and it did. Down to 6 tenths of a
I wonder
second.
if Giovinazzi has forgotten about the added time and thinks it's going to end a lap early, maybe.
Yeah, and Vern hits 10% with that lockup as well, so he didn't regen the energy as much. Giovinazzi as well, we know he's suffering with a bad car, but how bad really is that car is the question as well.
Well, Sede
yeah.
Camara's behind him, so
Yeah, not
that
good.
means, like, not a great car. But yeah, it's very sad for him because he knows he's not going to be maintained for next season. And with DS, of course, moving from Techeetah, although at the performances Techeetah have had, you do question, it seems like more of a financial decision than anything. Maybe they're a bit sick of having to prop up the team with the cryptocurrency investors constantly falling through. But
I wonder
that
why
aside,
that is. Yeah.
with Vern and Van Dorn joining the team, it's going to be a great driver lineup, but I'm not sure necessarily that Dragon operationally are the force that they used to be. And I don't quite see it changing overnight. But with DS joining, it could certainly begin to change
And
into a more efficient team.
Lotterer has been given a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision with De Vries at turn 8.
That's how he got the puncher then.
Yeah. There you go. There's the confirmation. So Turn 8, puncture.
Well, that's going to help Bird. More points for Sam Bird then.
Bingo,
and Boemi
yeah.
might even sneak in as well.
Oh,
Although, what's the gap? Is it over 5 seconds, actually?
Gap is 3 seconds.
Bird
He's
is
going to have
about
it,
7/10 behind Lotterer. And then Boemi, yeah, so Boemi's still in the window. And Turvey not too far behind, but I think, Turvey about 5 seconds behind, so he's definitely not going to get anywhere near the points, unfortunately.
And Giovinazzi has been black flagged. He's out of the race. He's into the pit lane now. He has run out of usable energy.
That makes sense because he would just be a danger out on track if they let the leaders come to lap him.
Yeah,
and
so
he's got no energy.
And because he's hit 0% and he's coming to the pit lane, it is a disqualifiable offence. We've seen that happen several times, so it's a black flag for Giovinazzi. He's into the pit lane now of the race, so is Nick de Vries, but that was due to the puncture.
He might count as just a retirement, but black flag it's the same either way, to be honest.
Yeah, hit the 0%.
And we're being reminded once more of the extra time now that we've run out of race time.
Yeah, there's +1 lap to go as well after this as well, so it's all still to play for as they battle
the
it
trio
down.
still going at it. Mortara, Vern, Evans.
Evans got to keep his cool for another lap, but Evans under pressure from Vern. We've seen these two battle before, and it's always gone Vern's way when they battle, as well as they swing back through. Evans really has only started to come
in
slowly
Rome, it
past 2
definitely seemed to
seasons.
go Evans' way.
Oh, yeah, but Vern was out of it at that point. He drifted back several times in the race as well. But
Yeah, Vern has had some very, very good drives this season. They've sort of gone a bit under the radar. But Mortara's certainly not gone under the radar, and neither is Evans.
And let's see, into turn 16, Evans defends the inside line, but the gap is 0.3 as the clouds start to come in with 37 seconds +1 lap to go into the last corner, and that's really going to cost them with 5%. There's going to be another 2 laps of this ePrix. I think they've timed that one a bit wrong. 4%.
They're going to have to really... And look at some of the tail enders, like Cassidy's still got 6%, so they're definitely planning for the extra lap. Oh, Vern all over the back of Evans now. It's go time, baby.
If you're just having your breakfast with us as well on Jubilee weekend in the UK, you're really having a treat as well with your cornflakes. A typical Formula E race as well. Exploding in Jakarta. Has only 3% of energy with 2 laps to go. Evans dives out the inside to defend. Vern goes for it, locks up as well. Evans trying everything as the timer hits 0. But there's another 2 laps to go. It's unbelievable with this amount of energy. They're not going to make it.
Yeah, they can't afford to waste it, these 3. And I think Mortara is actually sort of backing off slightly and biding his time a bit here.
Up the inside.
Again, looking at the inside. This is great. It's great that we got the rear-facing camera on Evans for this race.
And look at Mortara. Mortara's right up there. The leaders hit 2%. Evans lifts off again. They're not going to make it. Evans regens to 3. And now they're not going to make it. This is amazing.
Is Mortara going to steal this win?
And look at that from Evans. Sliding at the rear. That didn't help him. Here comes Mortara. They all hit 2%. So 2% or 1.5 for the last lap of the race. As Evans goes defensive, Mortara stays to the racing line. Vern can't move back. And he's stuck in the middle. This is brilliant.
Here we go. I wonder if Evans was forced into doing an extra lap than he wanted to do. Vern is down to 1%. This is going to get very, very tight now.
Mortara might just steal it, as you say it. This is getting close. Not enough energy.
R1 to finish. Mortara tiny bit more soft.
They've all hit 1%. As Evans goes to the inside, Mortara's
R1 to finish, so they're all in energy-saving mode. He's literally coasting around now.
It's literally who gets the biggest grunt, and literally it now comes down to how much food did they have, because it's going to be the lightest car that will cross the line first, and 0.9% of energy for Evans, 0.7, 0.6. If it hits 0.9, it's over.
Oh, Mortara having a go.
Mortara might just win this on countback. 0.9, 0.7 again. Now Mortara hits it. There's still half a lap to go, and they're in 0.4 into turn 16.
Oh, and Vern getting very defensive now, so Evans might just get away with this one.
2 more corners to go. 0.2, 0.1. Keep an eye on those regen powers. If it hits 0 before the line, it's done. And the last corner, Vern hits
Vern's
0.
done it.
And Evans hit 0 before the line as well. But did they coast? It's Berlin all over again. Evans takes victory, but it's under review.
There we go. I'm pretty sure Vern was very marginal there. But I think Evans and Mortara made it.
They were coasting down the line. They hit it across it again. It's just like
Berlin. And there we go.
Berlin.
Lotterer's penalty applied, so Bird and Boemi get the last 2 points.
Boemi
and
gets
misses
points.
out once more.
Fuck!
Oh, Vern didn't sound happy there. Apologies, everyone.
I know.
Vern not happy.
Oh, that's a shame because it was still a great drive by John Eric, but Evans just outsmarted him really with that I think with that move, really, it was literally just that opportunism. He saw the moment. There was one mistake from Vern. That was all that Evans needed.
Let's hear from Evans.
Amazing, mate. Wow. Oh, that was hard to manage. Woo! Right, nice work, guys. Nice work. You gave me the car that we needed. Thank you. This is down to you guys. Thank you.
Now let's...
Mitch, it's Dario on TV. Congratulations. That was an incredible drive.
Thanks, mate. I'm hot.
Accurate.
I'm seriously warm at the moment. Wow. Well, just want to say huge credit to the guys here on the team, just because we had a tough last race, but they gave me the goods this weekend. It was really tough at the end. My tires were going off a lot, so to keep them behind was tricky, but we got there in the end. So yeah, this feels really, really good. So cheers, mate.
Well done.
And it might be a little bit more. No?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Aisha said, I really want to meet Mitch Evans today. So I know Pico will be hoping to get an interview with him later, but we'll have to see who he gets. But certainly some great stories out there. Yeah, definitely some hard luck stories. Definitely Vern, I think, is the one that really stands out of just missing out on the win yet again this season.
Amazing job. It's really fantastic drive. Well done. Well done.
That's Evans.
Jaguars sound happy.
Yeah, they do.
Especially with Bird getting a few points as well. It really helps in the team's title.
I'm glad to see, unlike in Rome, Dario hasn't left the microphone on in the commentary box when Evans last won, so that's good news.
Cheers, boss.
Review complete. Evans provisional winner. Evans wins in Jakarta. So a third win.
So, doesn't look like Vern. I think Vern must have just coasted over the line as well.
Yeah.
And done enough.
He hit 0.
I think you have to follow Marshall's instructions. The note said to go to the FIA garage and you'll walk from there.
Right, so that's where they're going now as Evans gets out of the car. But it's very marginal. Did they make it to the line or not? That was the question. Reviews have shown that Evans is the provisional winner, of course. There's always classifications after that finalise it all. But Evans wins here in Jakarta. Again, another race where they get to the line and it's 0.0 as they coasting across the line. You've got to remember that one as well. Evans looks like he hit 0 at the back of the line, so that's going to have to be under investigation for sure. Mortara, I think, just made it because he was at 0.1, then lifted. Da Costa made it as well. I wouldn't be surprised. We had this back in Sanya a couple of years ago where everything changed over. Look, here's the Provisional Drivers' Championship. Van Dorn leads on 121 points. Vern on 116. Mortara 114. Evans now on 109. Friens on 81. And De Vries on 65. That's the top 6. Dramatically changing.
Yeah,
and
crucially, Vern closing on Van Dorn and Evans closing on all of them as well. Mortara just keeps getting on the podium, doesn't he, this season?
Absolutely.
I think that must be... How many podiums for Mortara this season, then?
Mortara,
I'm almost certain that's like 4 or 5 at this point.
Victory in Diria, podium, a victory in Berlin, second, it's his 4th. And 3rd in a row.
4th, there we go.
Yeah, 3rd in a row, 4th podium of the season. As well as they come through. Mitch Evans taking a lot of water. Track temperature 40 degrees, air temperature 29. A lot hotter in the cockpit as well.
Water now, it tastes so good.
But pretty good circuit overall, I'd say, Jakarta.
I like it. It's fun. It delivers some great racing, and I thought it didn't look great on paper, did it?
Of course, it's a permanent sort of a more circuit specially built for Formula E as well.
Yeah,
that seems to show in the final product. DS Techeetah jumped Venturi for 2nd then in the team title, but Mercedes just hold on by about 16 points to the lead. Yeah,
Mercedes on 186 as well, so they hold that one. So currently they have both championships, but we'll see where it goes. Let's have the cool down room then. I say cool down, they can't cool down.
Mortara and Vern having a chat in French. I'm afraid I can't translate for you.
After all these years, Jack Nichols has still not got the hang of French. Which, fair enough, because I did like GCSE Spanish, so I can't. But anyway.
There's the podium.
There you go. Let me just get the trophy in Evan's hand, so we're ready for later on.
I'm very curious as to what this joke is. They seem to be calling Mortara some kind of Picasso, don't they? Mortara responding that he's some kind of artist. Anyone knows exactly what.
Let's go down as well. Yeah, SHT says no investigation for this between Verline and Dennis. Buemi took 10th with Lotta as penalty. The Little Owl says great drive from Evans. Let's hope he doesn't get a penalty. So is it under review for both Evans and Vern? And Little Owl says nothing I've seen.
A crucial point there for Nissan for Buemi as well, because they're in a fight with Neo for the penultimate position basically. So that puts them on 12 points then.
When they cross the,
but Neo got 7 all 7 points, all from Rome basically.
Yeah. So yeah, just to talk about Little Owl and SSG's point there, when they crossed the line, message flashed up, finish under review. Now it often does that if they're under 0.0%, but then it flashed up that Evans provisional winner. So we have nothing on Vern or Mortara. All we know is that Evans is the provisional winner, but that always seems to flash up.
Wait for the podium to finish and then do that. They did do that at Hong Kong one season when the Bird won, and then had to.
Season
give
4?
it up. And he sort of Bird said afterwards, "Oh, I kind of knew I was going to lose that one."
Can't remember which season it was, but keep an eye out on Formula E Zone as well, because if there is any updates, Jack Pickering is trackside in Jakarta, as well as one of the local journalists, I believe. Did you say it?
Yeah, Aisha Delole, I think is her name, her last name. I'm terrible at her last name, but Aisha is just what I know her as.
Let's hear
she's not a local journalist, she's a Formula E Zone journalist, but she lives there.
Right. Let's
hear what Mitch has to say.
I was just happy to be in it at the end. We had a tough last race, and this track was kind of similar. Obviously, the climate is on another level here, so we put a lot of work into the setup and the systems, and the team just gave me what I needed, gave me the goods, which is what we need when it's so tight. It was really tight at the end with Jeb. I actually thought I was going to pull away, but my tyre started going off as soon as I got past him. So
maybe rephrase that,
Mitch. But got the job done. So yeah, it's what we needed.
And just finally, what does it mean to you personally to be back in contention? Just now a few points separating the top four, you're properly back in this. Yeah, I mean, we needed a good result, but obviously new track, new climate, new everything. You don't really know how it was going to go. So yeah, very happy with the result, and we're back in it. Well, we were not really out, but it's just obviously put our position even stronger. So I'll take that. Massive congratulations, man. Thanks, guys.
Not bad as well for Mitch Evans. Here's the moment where he took the start as well. Started third, finished first as well. Got off the two Cheetahs brilliantly down to turn one. Evans was on it from lights out.
Yeah, certainly. He didn't really put too many feet wrong. And look how tight it was at the back especially. And it was just a really, really good strategy there from Jaguar that put him in that position to sort of take advantage when Vern went that little bit wide. And Evans didn't really need to be asked twice. He was up there, and as Murray Walker would say, like a ferret up a drain pipe.
He is. Yeah, right there, willing to go racing as well. As James Barkley punching the air.
You got to feel that this is, after a couple of near misses, that Evans is doing everything to make sure he doesn't lose out on the championship this time.
Eric Vern, it was dramatic start to finish. You came in second. It was a fantastic result. How was it from your end?
That was a good race. I think hats on to Mitch and Jaguar. They were simply faster today. I thought I could have it, but yeah, I need to understand. But I had to save a lot more at some point for temperature reasons. So I need to understand what happened here. But anyway, second is good. Strong points. We carry on for the rest of the championship like this.
Still no wins for DS
the
Cheetah this season.
Often, but what about the energy of the driver? Just how taxing was that?
I'm happy there was no more laps.
Well said, sir. Thank you very much. Massive congratulations.
I wasn't. I was enjoying that.
Oh, Jack Nichols says he was enjoying it as it comes through. Yeah, this was Vern up the inside, I think, on lap 10.
This is on attack mode, yes.
Yeah. So this is lap 10 of the race. And this is when Evans tried to fight back, and you said at the time, it was a bit stupid because he didn't have the power, didn't have the speed. And that was the line. So he coasted. That was across the line. So Vern coasted across the line. Let's have Edo.
The momentum you've built over the past month or so is just continuing.
Yeah, it's going well so far. We had a good race weekend today in Jakarta. The qualifyings were already very good. The qualifications.
Yeah, I think maybe there's a sponsor that's
and
pulled
then
out.
The race was. We did an intelligent race. It was very difficult. Temperatures were so hot.
Or was it the pride thing maybe? That's a stick on.
It was not easy today, but we managed that, and at the end. Yeah, I could see that they were fighting at the front. I was kind of part of that fight, and I was hoping for some kind of move from Jev in order to get some free places. Unfortunately, it didn't come. But I'm extremely happy with another podium.
And with that in mind, in that final lap, when we were seeing the energy go down and down and down, it was less than 1%. Did you think at that point there was a chance?
No, I mean, that's the plan. I mean, we need to hit 0.0, you know, at the line. And on top of that, you need to manage the temperatures. At some point, you know, if you exceed a certain number, you know, the power is going down. So the goal is actually to get that, you know, at the line. And I could see that Mitch had it, and I had a little bit more reserve, and unfortunately, I could not pass them.
Not a single percent was wasted. Congratulations.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it was a good race in the end, wasn't it, from everyone? This is Mortara as well. Started the race down in 4th position, and he actually had a bad start, didn't he, Ed, compared to the top 3?
Yeah, it was a little bit trickier for Mortara, and he had to use, again, a little bit like Evans, that different strategy to sort of jump Da Costa. But it was a good little fight, and certainly Mortara was right there, right at the end, and you got to think it's turning into a 4-horse race, isn't it? Between Mortara, Jev, Evans, and Van Dorn, really. And it sort of flip-flops. That on the weekends like Berlin, where the Mercedes powertrains are doing well, it's Mortara and Van Dorn. But in the other weekends, it seems to be Vern and Evans who seem to always collect the points, isn't it? Was Frines recently, so I think Frines will be hoping to bounce back. But
and if you are interested, by the way, if you're in the UK, Hungary versus England, 5 p.m. tonight on Channel 4 for the first time in England game. Takes place on Channel 4 in a long, long time. But if you wonder what I'm doing, I'm just trying to get the screen working so we can show the complete results, but it's being a pain, as it always is, OBS, as Ed, I'm sure you well aware know how difficult it can be. Right, okay, let's take a look then at the full results from the Jakarta ePrix. We've got it up on the board here while we wait for the podium. It's Mitch Evans who takes victory as well and gets the fastest lap, so it's a 109.786. Second for Jean-Eric Verne, third for Eduardo Mortara, fourth for Antonio Finish da Costa. Stoffel Van Dorn rounds out in 5th position. Jake Dennis is 6th, Lucas de Grassi 7th, Pascal Verlaine 8th, Sam Bird fighting back up into 9th place after starting 14th. A great race for him and great race for Sebastian Buemi. Yes, started 5th. 6th, just dropped down to 10th, we'll gloss over that. Lotterer 11th, outside the points again. Turvey, Askew, Gunther and Sims ran up 15. Cassidy, Frines, Tictum, Sete Camera down to 19th. Out of the race, Giovinazzi, De Vries and Roland Dead. Good. So I tried to hold that sneeze in, but couldn't. Good race there, wasn't it, Ed, as well? And what was your highlight from those in the field today?
A couple of interesting highlights. Certainly, it was a good. Both Jaguars put on a great show. I think Bird climbing from near the back to 9th. Evans, of course, in that fight with Jean-Eric Verne and Mortara coming out on top. I also enjoyed the little scrap between Van Dorn, Dennis, De Vries, and Verline and Lotterer and De Grassi. I thought that was a good little scrap, actually, for
I did. Yeah.
For 5th position overall. And I think Van Dorn recovered really well in the end, even though he couldn't quite get to the fight for victory. He certainly wasn't too far behind. And I think the only really big disappointment was Buemi getting sort of shuffled out in that attack mode sequence somehow and ending up crawling home 10th, really, for Nissan. But certainly Nissan, it's just the case of every point they can get this season. I have to say, I sort of was thinking Verne had got this in the bag until he went wide.
Yeah, that wide moment cost him big time out there.
Yeah, but if I was to do a driver of the race, I'm not quite sure who I'd go for, really, because I feel probably Evans and Mortara are the obvious ones. But I certainly thought Verne almost had a perfect race. But it just, you can tell he was frustrated to lose out at the end as he walks to the podium. And
I see a replay down at Evans. This is on the final lap of the race, and they're all on 2 and 1% in some cases as well. And defending.
Yeah, it was certainly quite thrilling because it was already on the line. They're very tense, wasn't it? And Verne was like the nearest to running out as well.
Yeah, he was really.
Because he was having to try and attack and defend, and he sort of didn't end up doing either.
That safety.
Well, actually, defended.
Is it a question now that added time is adding a little bit of a grandstand finish to these races? It's a bit artificial, isn't it? Because this time in the safety car, everyone's taking the batch off. We said the same about when they reduced the energy available to the drivers. Added time is sort of.
I suppose you can say you can make an argument for both, and I know there are certain drivers who would prefer it to be like a laps race, rather than a timed race. But I don't know. I like the uncertainty element. I think it adds a bit of jeopardy, and it means that you've got to really adjust on the fly sometimes when you can see it's going to go a lap longer. And
with the introduction next year of fast charging, as literally where it could take, what was it, 30 seconds and the cars are recharged, do you reckon we'll have back to an hour races and pit stops returning? As that has been rumoured that we could have another pit stop where they just come in, sit on the charging dock and then go again, like a refuelling.
Could be. I think it all depends on whether it's cost effective and also whether it's road relevant to what EV manufacturers want for their real road cars.
I know. I just want flat out racing because I think
Robin Fryans, even after a terrible race, is still 5th in the Drivers' Championship on 81 points.
Yeah, Fryans started. What is he? Started 21st.
That shows what a consistent job he'd done up to now, really. And there's all the people coming out for the
podium still hasn't started yet as well. The 10 minutes after the race. SHT has tagged me saying as well, Evans has just been a beast this season. Once again beats Vern. Unfortunately for Vern, he has to settle for another runner-up spot this season. I really hope we'll get another crazy podium finish for next weekend's F1.
I think John Eric said something to Pico pre-weekend yesterday. He basically said, "Oh, if I finish like no wins, but I win the championship title, I think I'll take that."
Yeah.
So it's like he doesn't care about winning races. It's more about the overall championship for him.
I know we've just been told about Formula 1 in Azerbaijan next weekend, but don't talk to me about next weekend. The whole Le Mans 24 hours, having to commentate on that live as well on YouTube. And I hope you're not going anywhere, Ed, because I was going to drag in some of the ERC lot as well. Put it in. See, anyone want to come in and help me? Especially.
Well, I guess it's only fair because we've done the actual sort of Le Mans and sort of endurance races.
That's fun, yeah.
In ERC, so we may as well do the real thing.
Yeah, come on, do the real
there's
thing.
Baz Whedon in the big blue shirt, the governor of Jakarta, I think.
Yeah, it's all there, isn't it? Oh, someone trying to take a selfie.
Yeah, they also banned alcohol sponsorship from Heineken on the event because they didn't want Baz Whedon didn't want the Muslim population that vote for him thinking that he's pro-alcohol. So.
Oh, I see. Right.
So
that explains why there was no Heineken around there.
Heineken and Aisha said, "Oh well, Heineken they were trying to sell it in the bar where no one can see."
They have got that 0.0, so I think they can do that, can't they? Because
I think it's a sort of cultural thing as well.
Yeah,
it's more about the optics than how much alcohol's actually in them.
Side swipe before we get back onto this one as well. But I always find it a bit weird that the non-alcoholic beers require an ID of 18+. They're non-alcoholic. The mind
Vern
boggles.
looks a bit worse.
Yeah. He's worn out, isn't he, Vern? He's not in terms of the fact that
I
he's
think if he had won, he
out.
might feel a little better.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where you put all that effort just to finish second again, it's going to take it a bit out of you.
Also, I know that one of the drivers...
He doesn't lie down after this.
Yeah. I want to ask Pico, actually, this, and see if he can ask... Oh, he tripped on the podium. I want to ask... He's put a smile on his face then. I want to ask... The drivers as well, they're incredibly self-conscious about COVID and things like that. I wonder when they go through all the fans as well who haven't been COVID tested, if they hold their breath. I just wonder. Or is everyone okay with it now?
Oh, he's almost stumbling, or he's imitating the stumble from before. There you go. Here comes the race winner, Mitch Evans.
3 times.
New Zealand flag.
3 times a winner. Is he
about to be kissed by him there.
Yeah, I thought so. I was a bit too close. Is he this year's champion? That's the question. Can he take this one to the end?
Not yet. I think he's still 4th in the drivers, so I think he's got a bit of work to do. But he's certainly, if he can string... What Sam Bed was saying is if you can string a bunch of weekends together where you just keep finishing on the podium, then
he
got
did,
a great chance.
He did
I certainly think it's the 2 men either side of him that he's going to be fighting with, as long with Van Dorn, who actually leads the championship. So if he can keep beating them, then I think he's got every chance. But if Jaguar keep having off weekends like Berlin, like Monaco was a little bit of an off weekend as well, then I think Mercedes Venturian could run away with it.
And so
it's really only Jaguar that can really challenge him consistently, it seems.
Yeah.
And even then, only Evans. Third is struggling to score points, really.
The national anthem of New Zealand plays on in the background. There's the podium for Ed on the Lego podium as well. Still so jealous about those.
People have got to have something to look at, haven't they?
They do, and especially as we've got to talk over it thanks to copyright rules with the music. The only time we can be quiet...
I'm never going to learn the New Zealand national anthem at this rate.
No. The only time we can be quiet is if they play it live. which means that there's a band that actually perform
means
it
we'd
live.
have to actually go there. and
Yes.
listen to it.
Actually,
Well, I'll have to see if Mitch Evans can win in London this year then.
yes, do.
There's a Jaguar team that look very excited and delighted, and as
So-
they should
yeah.
be, because a lot of hard work went into this win. Not just from Evans, but from the entire team.
7 races left. Marrakesh next month, July 3rd. Then double headers
Is it
in
July
New
3rd?
York. July 3rd, yeah.
I thought it was July 2nd.
Oh, is that
It's a Saturday, isn't it?
yeah.
Not the Sunday.
Saturday, so 2nd, yeah.
Yeah, it's a single header at Marrakesh. Then we've got New York on the 16th and 17th of July, London on the 30th and 31st of July, and then Seoul in South Korea on August 13th and 14th. So it's the latest that the season will end.
Yes. British National Anthem now for Jaguar. And Megan's not actually joining me in the commentary box for Formula E London as well. So I'm going to... is Nick Homewood going, did he say? He is, isn't he?
Believe so.
Tom Dillon might be getting a phone call at this rate. Tom, did you reckon? Yeah.
This I've found some spare commentators for you.
Indeed, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, Tom Dillon might
I'm
be.
supposed to be holding this up, aren't I? Yeah, my hand got a bit tight.
Looks, Australia now says, looks like the Jubilee. Yeah. British team
That's
wins.
a bit. And he's
yeah.
British. Yeah. Remember we had this when, I think after Prince Philip died, didn't we? We had
Yes.
them on the podium in Rome.
Yes.
Both Jaguars.
First weekend, yeah. There we go. What a race here in Jakarta. They've put on a show. I'll tell you what, if that was the first ever Formula E race you've seen, or the first ever Formula E race that ever happened, that would be absolutely fantastic introduction as well. A lot of action, a lot of strategy, and it's
I
exactly
like how
what
the
it's
camera
about.
there cut to the wrong man. And
Yes,
he was
it
about
is.
to hold the trophy, and when he saw the camera on him, and then he put it down when he saw Baz Whedon's name popped up. Governor of Jakarta, of course.
Yeah, you're not allowed
Controversial
to touch the trophy.
figure in local politics, of course, but certainly he'll be happy with how the events run.
Yeah.
And he'll be hoping that people vote for him at the upcoming election, I think next year.
No red flags this weekend at all. Another weekend as well. It
And only
happened
one
in Berlin.
safety car in the beginning
Yeah.
for Roland. So.
Yeah, these Formula E drivers getting too safe. They need to throw some little things into it that when the race gets stopped every now and then or something. Come on, guys. Even a practice session gets stopped. Come on, do something. Third
You're
place.
just begging for red flags. Interesting. This isn't Monaco.
Well, I want the graphic. It's the only one I haven't got from Formula E yet, the red flag graphic. I think we had it last year in Berlin. Here we go. Hang on a minute. Is that somebody in a uniform of a driver that makes it looks like he's done a race but hasn't actually done a race? Didn't Will Smith try that once and it didn't work?
He looks a little bit like Will Smith, that fellow. But
He did actually. He did have a look at Will Smith. Oh,
but,
dear.
Anyway, he's definitely not if the captions to be believed. And here we go. Looks like His Excellency Mr. Joko Widodo, the President of the Republic of Indonesia, is just giving out the winner's trophy to Mitch Evans now.
Once, twice.
I don't know why I bothered with that name. It just seems cheap.
Once, twice, 3 times a winner in 2022.
Well, that lady in the crowd looks happy.
Doesn't she? Yeah. Come on, and now. Oh no. Now
I
it's
gotta get the champagne out.
Now, Now it's time for the driver selfie with an actual
well, that gives me
selfie
time
stick.
to put champagne into the hands of the drivers.
Hey, they've
Hold on.
actually given them a selfie stick this time out. They didn't in Berlin. They gave it was all done. Although I like the non-COVID approach where they did it on a camera at the back. Right. Oh, what the hell is Mitch Evans gesturing there? Out of the pit lane. He was shaking his fist down below his waist waiting for the champagne. No champagne. Nothing getting
Oh, of course,
sprayed.
because it's the alcohol thing I was talking about earlier. Yeah.
So they could have given them fire extinguishers or lemonade or something. Mitch Evans using his trophy as a champagne cannon. They
Yeah,
could
some
have given them
traditions
something.
you never die, do they?
Yeah.
No matter what other cultures try and force.
As it starts, yeah.
I've got some champagne or some plasticky, liquidy kind of thing. Here you go.
I'll spray my water bottle around. There we go.
All right.
Champagne
Let's
time. Let the celebrations and party begin. That's another race in the books for season 8 of Formula E. Round 9 done. It's up to round 10 on Marrakesh. A return to that circuit. And then we've done a lot of races previously at Marrakesh on the ERC Formula E series as well. It is a fantastic track to race at, and this is going to be another one where we're going to
It's
see...
another great
yeah.
one for energy management too, in terms of those long straights. It's such a big challenge. And last time we were in Marrakesh in season 6.
6, yeah.
I'm trying to remember who won. It was Da Costa, wasn't it?
DaCosta won. Yeah.
It was that race, the last race before COVID. So I think, I think
no, it was the
Vern
last race
actually
before
had
COVID.
COVID.
Yeah, Vern had COVID and couldn't race.
He didn't know it was COVID at the time. To be fair,
who did he get replaced by? Was it Rene Rast? Then Rast joined
No, it was
after.
James Rossiter, who was Tetuta's test driver. During the practice session, Vern felt he wanted to get a few more points. I guess it makes sense because I think only just missed out on third to Van Dorn in the final standings that season. So
right, well,
and Van Dorn looking very good this season as well, as it happens.
Yeah, top
Although I don't think he did particularly well in Marrakesh in previous seasons.
No, he's had constant accidents in Marrakesh coming up as well, so that's going to be fun.
I remember him getting fan boost and then being crashed out of the first corner.
That's in a month's time on July the 2nd. Then we will be back. Same weekend is the British Grand Prix as well, so that's going to be a busy day all the way around.
You didn't say who your driver of the day was. I said mine.
Sam
I guess.
Burch comes to mind.
Bird is yours. Okay.
Impressive racing.
I'd probably either go for Mortara or Evans, and I think probably more towards Evans because of that. It's really hard to see where he put a foot wrong, and I think Mortara maybe just slightly missed out in quali. Evans, so.
Mortara started fourth on the grid as well. Lost out on qualifying the duel after being dominant. Had a slidiness as well on his lap in the duels. So
he has been one of the most consistent drivers in there though. Mortara. He always seems to do well in the duels when he makes it.
Yeah. It seems to be good. Right, let's give you the coverage details. The remainder of the weekend, only 2 live streams to go. The MotoGP Grand Prix as well of Catalonia. That's on air tomorrow at 12:15 p.m. Then you can join us on Sunday evening as well. We're underway, I believe, at 7:45. Coverage of IndyCar at the last ever Belle Isle Grand Prix in Detroit before it moves into the city centre. So it's going to be a goodbye to that track as well. 30 races in total. Some great memories there as well. Myself and I think Megan will be in the commentary box for that as well. For both. And we'll see Ed, I think, hopefully at some point next weekend, because it's going to be a crazy one. Because next weekend it's the Le Mans 24 Hours. It's the Formula 1 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It's the Formula 2 race as well. It's the British Touring Cars to add into mix as well. Megan will be taking you through Formula 1 Practice 3 and qualifying. I will be taking you through the Le Mans 24 Hours, co-leading with Megan as well. Megan will be drifting in and out when I go off and do Formula 2 races, Formula 1 races, and the British Touring Cars as well. Megan will come in here and do the commentary as well. And Edward Hunter and the whole ERC team are going to make appearances as well, whether they like it or not.
They'll be dragged in, yeah.
Yeah, they'll just be dragged in onto the Discord as well. And that's going to be a lot of fun.
And let's not forget, speaking of ERC, we've got ERC Touring Cars at Road Atlanta on 9th of June, which is next Thursday.
Yeah, looking forward to that one.
And that's we've got Alessandro Valente's had to drop out. The man second in the championship. But the good news is we've got a brilliant driver. We've got Mia Rose from the John Lacey Esports Academy who's agreed to fill in for him. And
great driver.
This is. I thought just tell you on stream. So
that's fab. Right. Okay.
But that's absolutely brilliant, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing how she does because she was very enthusiastic. But when I asked her, I sort of thought, well, maybe she's got better things to do, and then she was like, "Nah, that sounds great."
Touring car racing is fun, though. That's what we find out.
Well, let's see if it's fun at Road Atlanta because at Bud it got a bit personal. So
it did. Yeah.
Hopefully, with a change of driver, change of scenery. We'll get more than just the one win. Maybe we can get a really good team result rather than just one driver running off while the others hit everything and everyone else.
After India, we can't do worse. Anyway, it's going to be a great one. Josh Plays isn't with us next week, by the way, as well, in the British Touring Car Championship. So Ian Burch is moving into the commentary box alongside me as well. And he'll be with me for Formula 1, while Megan does the World Endurance Championship as well. So it gets all a little bit messy, but we'll have everything sorted out soon. Okay, well,
and by the way, speaking of Venturi, because Delphine Beskin is having an interview now, the team manager of Venturi. If you want to hear from Jerome D'Ambrosio, team principal, and both drivers, check out the Formula Zone magazine, where me and Jack Giordamano basically slayed away to get these features edited and make sure the grammar and sentences are all correct, as good as we can get them. And I think we did a really good job. So
absolutely,
I hope
go check it out.
Find the time to enjoy that and get some insight there. Because I was in charge of the Jerome article. So that's why it's right at the end and just a single page.
Yeah, and be sure to check out the Formula E's own YouTube channel as well, because Jack Pickering is trackside with all the information, and I'll be leading the Grid Network later on the Formula E.
Oh yeah, they've invited me along there, so I guess you'll see me there too.
Yeah, I'm leading the Formula E's and the which one? MotoGP sections as well, so that's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll see you later on then, Ed, for IndyCar. And my thanks to all of you at home then. That's it. Jakarta done in the books. A great debut race for this country. Let's hope they catch the electric burgers we all have. It's Mitch Evans who takes a dramatic victory here in Jakarta from Vern second and Mortara third. We'll see you in a month's time for Formula E when we head back to Marrakesh as well. See you later.